All right, traders, here we are again. SPRT stock has exploded. Congratulations for those of you who've been consistently playing this. We've been consistently making money using this gap close reversal to fill the gap above strategy on SPRT stock. So guys, within this live stream, we're going to be doing some live trading, going to be going over some stocks that you're interested in as well. In terms of my current holdings, I'm currently in on Neuro and SPRT. Neuro is starting to have a nice jump as well, along with SPRT here. Let's take a look. So in terms of NURO, we are almost at a new high of day. Going to continue to hold this out. This is going to be like a midterm swing, playing for that gap to fill. We got a gap to fill right here at $13.88. We'll be going over that towards the close. But like I said, my top focus right now is going to be in terms of like this day trade. SPRT, NURO, the volume is pretty light. This is going to be more of like a passive swing trade for me. So yeah, during this stream, we'll see if we could find any more swing trades. I currently have one swing trade, NURO, opened it today. In terms of SPRT, this is not going to be a swing trade. As I had stated, I'm just not willing to take that risk where certain variables are out of my control. In terms of trading, you cannot control everything, but you can put yourself in a position where you can have, control. You can have as much control as possible. You can buy before the news comes out. You can choose to get in after the news comes out, but holding through an event or a news event, it's pretty much like a coin toss. It can go either way. And even if the news is in your favor, it does not guarantee the stock to go up. One thing, remember Sava stock, people were buying Sava towards the all-time highs. This dropped like 50% in 2 days, and it had no good valid reason of dropping 50% in 2 days. The news was positive, so it can happen, and you have to be extremely careful, especially holding through news events on, stocks that explode this quick, this quickly. We're talking from $3 to $60, right? But regardless, this is going to be a gap fill play. It's gonna close this gap. We got a gap to fill at 31.36. It is on track to do that. In terms of the next gap fill play, I think NURO is going to be the next one. The only thing about this one is it is different because the volume is lacking. That's the main difference. It does not have the volume. However, it does have the pattern and it doesn't need the volume. It's just going to take some time, but this is due for some sort of, correction, some sort of gap up. But yeah, in terms of my open positions, I have Neuro stock, I have SPRT stock long, as you can see right here to the right-hand side. And then I also am still holding my put options on SPY, which are finally in the green, I believe. And SPY is looking really bearish. In terms of the market crash, the timing was on point. I'm not up a lot though because it had a small crash and also because of theta decay and time decay. It's taking way too long. It's really not that volatile in terms of its 5-day channel, but it's really starting to show that we are due for that, market crash, that we are due for some sort of pullback. So I think SPY will be heading into the, mid 440s next week, like 445 is what I'm going to be looking at. So the puts should do all right. They should do all right. But I wouldn't really recommend them unless you were to play like a vertical spread. That could be different. But if you do the puts, I would stay in the money. I would give it like 2 weeks, give it some time for sure. But yeah, guys, I'm mainly going to be focused on SPRT. If you want me to review a stock, feel free to post it. In terms of SPRT, one of my max risk levels here, try my best to hold this into after hours. One of the max risk levels are going to be $26. That's going to be an ideal level that needs to hold up. So we'll see how it reacts as it's heading back towards $26. But NUR stock is really starting to gain some traction here. It just got a new high of day. But yeah, for those of you who are new to the channel, we recently got a lot of new subscribers. Feel free to ask any questions down below. I normally don't do live streams. I tried live streaming. It's been hurting my channel. Whenever I do a live stream, the videos usually don't do well. and YouTube, it just doesn't work out very well, at least for my channel. So I try my best to, post the videos and get them out as soon as possible. Sean, welcome back to the stream. I've seen your comments. Appreciate the support. What is my take on Wish? So Wish, I was long biased on. We'll be going over Wish here in a minute. All right, so let's take a look at Wish stock. Let's see. So it had a small gap up today, ended up closing that gap, turning it into support, then having a nice spike, a nice rip back up to fill this gap here towards $7.38. From a long-term point of view, I think it's going to head back towards this gap fill at 941. So I would personally value it at $9.41. Earnings though is not going to be good, so I would not hold through earnings. In terms of right now, though, I would be on the sidelines. I wouldn't touch this right now. It's just still on a downtrend. Definitely due for some sort of spike. But yeah, I think there's much better opportunities. Just have to, patiently wait for the next one. NURO stock is really starting to gain some traction. Okay, guys, I'm loving this candle that just popped in on SPRT. What we were looking for is we were looking for the previous day's highs, the previous high at 2650. We were looking for that to turn into support. We have now gotten 2 validations of that being strong support. In terms of candlesticks, I like to use these bottom wicks. You could see these nice bullish bottom wick candlesticks. We got a nice one right here at 2612 at the bottom and ended up closing strong at 2664 above that, day's high. And then right here, we got some higher support tempting to form at 2635, guys. SPRT is looking beautiful right here. No reason to sell yet, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm up nearly $2.50 profit per share on those. Going to keep on holding. In terms of like selling, I would look to sell some if this were to head back towards like 26. But we're going to see if this can get one more nice push up here into the close and into after hours. It definitely has the potential to do that. All right, so let's see how we react here to this attempt of, higher support forming. Basically looking for one last rip up into the close and after hours. So, in terms of yesterday, let's see. It really, man, like the last 10 minutes, into the close. We are currently at 3:43 p.m. SPRT stock is doing a phenomenal job of holding up at that key level, guys. It just consistently is forming new higher support, pushing for, new highs on the day, like it did yesterday. So this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some sort of nice ramp up here into the last 10 minutes or into after hours. And then I'm going to be selling into that last push up. That would be the plan. But the thing is, though, we already got a really nice massive push up. This ended up spiking earlier than it did yesterday. In terms of yesterday, this really took off at around like 3:45 p.m. That's when it really started ripping. In terms of today, it really started ripping right here, like 20 minutes earlier. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well. But yeah, like I said, my max risk is going to be towards like $26. All right, I'm not liking this candle here. All right, so I did just sell 1,000. Currently have 3,000 left. So I just sold 25%, 25% of the current position. Let's see how it reacts. Like I said, 26 is going to be towards my max risk. So one of the reasons why I am, kind of selling before after hours is just because we already had like a really nice massive move up, and it happened like 20 minutes earlier than it did yesterday. So like that would be kind of the main reason. But I still think this does have the potential. We'll have to see. There really wasn't any big pullbacks yesterday up until here. So yeah, let's just see how it reacts towards, $26 a share. So yeah, I mean the war right now is going to be, we're going to call it 26 to 27, about $1 range. If they turn 26, if it cracks and turns into resistance, then the bears are really going to start to gain some control here. If this were to crack, bounce back up, turn into resistance, lower high, they're going to start to gain some control, push back towards 24. If we can see, a break above 27, break out above that, turn into support, then we should be able to head back towards 29 range is what we're going to be looking at. So we'll have to wait and see. We still have plenty of time. This did explode like the last 10 minutes into close yesterday. As you can see, the volume is definitely coming in here. So let's see. Plus, it's known for spiking during after hours. It has a history of that. But you do have to be really careful though, with this one at its current level. But yeah, looking at the price action right here, I mean, it's still holding up. Not liking it at the moment. Let's see. All right, so while we're waiting for this to play out, let's take a look here. Let's see NURO. So guys, NURO stock just got a new high of day. It is doing a very, very good job of bottoming at that key gap level, and it's currently having that gap close reversal on track to fill that gap from, $13.88. In terms of the volume is starting to come in. It's recently been trading at 700 to 500,000 in between that range, starting to have a breakout on the volume as well, almost at 1 million on the day. And this candlestick is looking really good. So, like I said, for a starting position, I think it's going to be a great opportunity. I'm in at $11.01. It's currently at 11.40. Price target is sitting at 13.88. It's the same exact strategy on SPRT, except it doesn't have the volume. I'm looking for more of a gap up on this one, and it's kind of like getting in before the volume comes in. So it's going to be a bit choppy at first. What we could see is something like this. This is what could happen and most likely will happen. You could see right here there was a gap waiting to fill at $10.04. This is the day it ended up filling that gap, and it turned it into a support level. The next day, it ended up gapping up, going to 11.92. And then you can see it started to downtrend. That's going to happen when the volume is just not there, right? But it did end up gapping up and exploding. So that's kind of what it is that I'm looking for. I'm looking for a nice squeeze, a nice explosion to fill this gap right here. There's a gap that's waiting to fill at $13.88. Let me double check and see if there's another gap. There might be another one as well. Okay, let's see. Okay, so yeah, there's actually another gap that is waiting to fill at 1651 as well. So with that being there, this even has more upside potential. We take it one gap at a time, but the current price target is going to be 1388, and it's going to take time. This could take weeks due to the lack of volume, but I think it's going to be a great play. In terms of SPRT stock, let's see. So it's doing a good job of maintaining above that $26 range, and what we're looking for is one more squeeze into the close or into after hours, and that ideal number is going to be around like $29. That is what it is I'm looking for. So I'm just playing this out. I'm just playing the waiting game on this one. Max risk is going to be towards 26. If this is down after hours, not a good sign for tomorrow. All right, so it's climbing back towards 26. Let's see how it reacts here. If it starts to crack, I'm going to have to start locking in profits. All right, so I'm going to lock in a little bit more right here. Okay, so I'm completely out on SPRT. I was supposed to lock in half. I ended up locking in more. My orders are set automatically. I didn't reset it. It is what it is. But yeah, I'll still do my price action analysis on that. I was only supposed to sell half there. I ended up selling all of it. So let's just see how this plays out here. Yeah, I mean it's just mainly trading between this channel. This is not a good candlestick though. Not liking this at all. You got some lower highs coming in. It's starting to have that downtrend pattern. If it were to crack 26, would not be a good sign for after hours. Let's take a look at Neuro stocks. Let's see. Okay, so we got new highs. 1141 is current high. Okay, so that's going to be an overnight hold. That one's just passive. I'm not expecting it to like explode tomorrow. Like I said, for that one, it can easily go to like $10 a share. So my max risk will be around 10, and I'm looking to sell towards like 1388. So as for SPRT, I'm looking at the level 2 right here. It's really trying to break down. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be locking in some profits here for sure. I just think it's going to be way too risky to hold overnight, so I'm not willing to take that risk. All right, so what stocks are you guys currently watching, and do you see any potential swings on stocks that can explode? Whether that's this week or they might take a couple weeks to explode. Let me know. So in terms of SPRT, guys, I would definitely start locking in profits. Most I would really risk is like 25.5 at the most. But that's from being long at $24 and like 50 cents. And then my first long in the morning was yesterday was 20.34, and then I sold it into the morning spike into like the 23.50s. But yeah, that's a clear sell signal. So yeah, guys, like I said, I see it happen all the time where stocks rip up right before news, right as they're getting into that catalyst. We have the news coming out tomorrow, and then they just sell off. You really have to get in before the news. And in terms of the strategy is what got me in before the news. I was literally buying this the day it bottomed, and then I bought it second day it bottomed, and then the third day. So 4 for 4 on this particular situation with SPRT stock. Nailed it going short from like 36.50, and then in terms of buying, started buying this at 1912, and then just go back, watch the series, watch the videos, watch the playlist that I posted on my channel. You'll see the gap trading series. But yeah, be on the lookout for the recap video today. I'm going to be doing a recap on SPRT. Also going to be making a video about NURO stock. Like I said, the stock, it has that explosive potential, and the strategy is in play and it's currently working. It just lacks, the volume. It just really lacks that. But within time, I do think we're going to see a nice move up. I think we'll see a gap up towards, 1388. So it does have that nice upside potential. Highest I could see it going is like 1651. So you got to get one gap level at a time. But yeah, guys, congrats to those who played SPRT. I would definitely lock in profits. I don't like the idea of holding this through after hours anymore, just because it ended up spiking earlier than I anticipated, and now it's starting to crack through that 26 key level. So due to those two reasons, history repeats itself in similar ways. It doesn't happen to an exact T, but you could see in terms of like similar ways and cycles, it was nearly on point. Like it's absolutely insane what you can do by studying chart patterns, by pattern recognition, by studying the history, and then making trades based off of that history. So yeah, let me see if there's any other stocks you guys are looking at. I have a couple stocks on my radar, but at the moment I'm not seeing really anything other than NURO in terms of like aiming for, best entry and good timing. And like I said, I think SPY is going to continue to crash, but there's going to be better plays. But yeah, Neuro stock is looking really good here. Okay, let me check the comments. So yeah, SPY is still bearish. I think we'll go to like low 340s into next week. It's choppy. That's the problem. But this 1 day candle on SPY, this is extremely bearish. In terms of SPY puts, now would definitely be a good time to grab them, in my opinion. I really think we're going to see a nice downtrend into tomorrow and then next week as well. But I would stay in the money. It's choppy. It's not as volatile as I'd want it to be. So Alibaba, let's see. Okay, so I see what you're looking at on Alibaba. There's a gap to fill right here at 166.99. Okay, yeah, this is the strategy. Let's take a look. Not closing as strong as I wanted to. It does have some potential though. It's decent. I'm not gonna get it on it though, but yeah, it's decent. I see what is that you're looking at. Yeah, I'm still holding SPY puts. I'm slightly in the green on those. So yeah, upcoming videos we'll do a recap on SPRT, and we'll do an update on NURO stock, going over the strategy and the trading plan more in depth. And then I also have to do an update on SPY. But yeah, guys, I'm still in the put position on SPY. So yeah, those updates will be out from tonight till tomorrow. Those videos will be expected to drop. Uh, 53% profit return in 10 minutes on SPRT. Congrats, Harry. Yeah, guys, I cannot wait to relaunch this program in the future. Looking forward to that as well. Right now, I'm just really focused on, building my account growth. BBIG had a nice gap close reversal. That's another thing, guys. You can use this strategy for day trading and scalping as well. You could have used it on BBIG today. This was a very nice one. Let's see. Let me just double check that. So yeah, BBIG had a gap to fill right here at $9.66. That's a key support level with huge upside potential. It went all the way to $12.49. And you could see, as soon as it closed that gap, here's where it closed the gap. It bottomed exactly at that gap close. Very strong bullish hammer right here on the 5-minute chart. Key trend reversal confirmation. And then your key reason to buy would be right around here at $10. And then it ended up exploding to $11.30. So those option contracts definitely printed. So just keep in mind, you can use this strategy to day trade as well. Me personally, I've mainly been using it to swing trade. There's pros and cons to swing trading, and there's pros and cons to day trading. But I've mainly been using it to swing trade. But I also encourage you to use this as well for day trading if that's something you're interested in doing in scalping. But lately, if you've been following my channel, all I've been doing is swing trading. I did end up making a day trade today based off of yesterday's history on SPRT. And as you can see, that worked out absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, guys, I'm going to work on the recap for SPRT stock as well. And then I have to do a SPY update, and I'm going to do an update on my new position on NURO stock. So let's see, in terms of NURO stock. Okay, so we're at 1123. So yeah, I mean, the range I'm just looking for this to hold up is above. I just want it to be above. Let's see. Where's this gap right here? So yeah, I want it to be above $10. Like I said, this is a starting position. This can easily go back to 10 before hitting 1388. But yeah, it's looking good so far. All right, guys, do you have any last questions before I go? So what do you think about Nike? So let's see. So yeah, Nike is looking pretty bearish. I think it's going to head back towards this gap to fill right here at $160.71 for the short term. This is extremely bearish confirmation, and then you got the gap to fill below. So it's not looking good in my opinion for the short term. I'm going to go through my list here real quick and see if there's anything else I wanted to cover. Yeah, I have like a huge list of stocks on my other screen here. Just want to double check. So in terms of like a midterm potential swing trade, I think this stock is extremely undervalued. The option chain, it's not that liquid, but the spreads aren't that wide. In terms of the options that I was looking at, me personally though, I think I'm just gonna do shares until like some more volume and open interest were to come in on these. But I was looking at in the money 7.50 strike. Spread is a little bit wide, but if you can get filled in between the middle, it's not that bad. November 19th, 2021. They expire in 71 days. Those are the ones that I like. 7.5 strike. But this stock, MOXC, I'm keeping this one on my radar. I think it's really due for some sort of spike, some sort of upside potential. And plus, it's consistently reaching for, it's pushing towards all-time highs recently, and you got multiple gaps to fill here. So I think that's due for some sort of spike. I'm just watching it for now, though I have no position. So in terms of SPRT stock, guys, it is not exploding during after hours. So like I said, I'm glad I sold out. And if this does have a massive gap up, massive spike due to the news tomorrow, I have no regrets because I like putting myself in a position where, I have the fullest control of the price action. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. So really no thoughts on it from here. We'll see how it reacts tomorrow and see if there's a potential trading opportunity. But that was it. I held it 3 days in a row. We had 3 successful swing trades on this stock and 2 successful day trades. And it all began with my short position right here when it was at 36, like 30. I was short at like 34.50 or 36.50. 36.50. Yeah, that's where I was short. It was a small win, but I had the right mindset. I was on the right track because I told people, like, in terms of buying, wait for it to go back to, it's headed back to 1970, fill this gap. Do not buy it now. So many people got stuck bag holding this because they just don't understand when to buy a stock. But yeah, I played this perfectly. Short side did well, but long side absolutely killed it. Like 2 successful swing trades in a row, and then we had the successful day trade. Okay, let's see. Do you guys have any last questions? Any stock, IMPL. Okay, so any stock. Won't you go? I'll treat you. So yeah, in terms of any stock, So for any stock on this particular one, you could see right here, wow, this had a nice gap close reversal actually. There was a gap that was waiting to fill at 344. It went to 345. So basically on the dot, and then that's where it forms the bullish confirmation right here. And then you can see the stock explodes and it fills this gap that was waiting to fill right here at 540. Just to do a current update, let's see. Let's take a look at the 5-day chart. So yeah, this is at like a key resistance level. This is going to need to push past 750 quickly. Otherwise, it's going to head back into the mid fives. But yeah, it's not really, in terms of my strategy, it's not like correlating with it right now. So I wouldn't make a trade on it. Okay, let's see. So we went over any stock. ATOS. Let's see, ATOS. ATOS is looking pretty bearish. Just to kind of show you what it is that I'm looking at, you could see right here it gaps down and then it rips back up. And as soon as it fills, as soon as it closes this gap right here, it gets crushed. And then you can see right here it gaps down. As soon as it fills, as soon as it closes this gap right here, it gets crushed. And then you can see right here it gaps down. And as soon as it fills, as soon as it closes this gap right here, it's starting to get crushed. So you can see it's clearly on a downtrend and it's clearly having gap close reversals. Gap close reversals they work both ways. On this channel, you've mainly seen me use them on the long side, going long, but you can also use them on the short side. And if the stock is an option chain, you could buy put options as well. So that's another thing to keep in mind. You can trade both ways using this strategy. You can wait for a stock to have a massive gap down, like for example, right here with huge downside potential. And then once it rips back up and fills that gap, then it's going to be a potential, short position. Like another thing to keep in mind is like I keep talking about this key gap level. Like SPRT, the volume's there, the catalyst is there, and it looks extremely bullish. And it's in the process of, being a gap close reversal to fill this gap. Like this is a key level right here at 3136. If it pushes to 3136 and it turns into a resistance level, it is going to get crushed. It's going to have huge downside potential. We're talking like a 40% crash within 2 to 3 days. So that's going to be a key level to keep an eye on. And there is put options on this stock as well. So we'll see how it reacts if it can fill that gap. But in terms of the long side at the moment, I have no further interest in buying this stock. There's no reason for me to buy it anymore. We'll see how it reacts towards, tomorrow's price action. But for the most part, especially in terms of the long side, it's going to be on to the next one. I'm looking for the next stock now. I know this one four times in a row. But NURO, that's going to be the next potential play. And like I said, it is going to be a starting position. It could go back to 10 before going to 1388. Okay, so let me see. CAT. How do you get the blue line? ADSK. Okay, so ADSK, let's see. I think like mid to long term, it'll go back up and fill this gap from 340. In terms of like a solid bottom bind confirmation, I don't think now would be the time to buy. So I am going to set a price alert. Thanks for alerting this one. We do have a gap waiting to fill right here at 263.67 at a key support level where it's extremely oversold. So if this can drop another 24 points a share, that's where I'm going to be extremely interested in buying this. In terms of the option chain, let's see, is this liquid or not? So it's not the most liquid option chain, but it does have, it's got volume. So yeah, you could play the options on this one as well. And the spreads are not, let's see, the bid and the ask, spreads aren't too wide. So yeah, that'll be a good one. So hopefully we can get back down to that level. That's where I'm going to be looking to potentially play it. Okay, let's see. So root, ROT. So for this one, I have no opinion on this stock. There's no reason from a technical view for me to buy this one. And I do not like the chart at all. So I would just avoid this one. It's not what I look for. The key pattern that I'm looking for. I use a couple different patterns, and the key one is going to be that gap close reversal to fill the gap above. If you guys go on the playlist, the gap trading series on my channel on the homepage, you'll really get a better understanding of how the pattern works. So yeah, but in terms of, NURO, it's that gap close reversal to fill the gap above pattern. We're looking for a stock that has a massive gap up, or it could be a small gap up and has a massive multi-day run like a gap and go. And then we're waiting for it to fill that gap. And then once it fills that gap, in terms of a swing trade, we're looking for a bullish 1-day candlestick. In terms of a day trade, we're looking for bullish 5-minute candlesticks towards that gap close level. So yeah, swing trading confirmation would be towards power hour once that 1-day candle is, clearly shaped itself, and once we have a better understanding if it's going to close strong or not. And then day trading confirmation is basically the first 5 to 10 minutes once it fills that gap. So there's 2 ways you can play it. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking for. You could see NURO. Another thing is I like the stock having a history of the pattern working. So you could see the pattern recently worked on NURO, and I missed out on it. It filled this gap right here, bottomed, formed the bullish 1-day candlestick, just like SPRT. Same exact pattern to SPRT stock. Obviously there's some differences with volume and stuff like that, but they both basically did the same thing, and it's the same pattern. We talked about, you could see right here, so we have this gap to fill on SPRT right here. This is when we get the bullish 1-day confirmation. And then, NURO, we have this gap to fill right here. This is when we get the bullish 1-day confirmation. So that's the day you buy it. And then from there you hold for a swing, and then, it gets more complex, more complicated. But in terms of the entry, that's what we're looking for. Same with AMC. AMC was the same pattern as SPRT. You can see right here, AMC had this massive gap up right here, hits the red line, forms the bullish candlestick, and then it rips and it gaps up, and then it rips and it gaps up. Sometimes it takes some time. So yeah, and what I like about NURO is, like I said, when I'm using a pattern, when I'm using a strategy, I like for it to have a history of that stock working with that strategy, with that pattern. And you could see NURO recently had the pattern, and then it exploded and went to $20. So it doubled. And we are now back at that gap fill price right here. And it is already starting to bottom and show signs of an uptrend. So the only thing it's lacking is really the volume. So it's going to take some time. I just have a starting position for now because I really do think this could go back to 10 before going to 14. All right, let's see. Do we have any last questions? So IMPL. So yeah, guys, one day we will have a chat room, and the chat room, it's going to be focused on, making everyone self-sufficient. You guys will have, if you study and if you have any questions, of course, and you're studying, you're putting the work in, you will definitely have the opportunity to be self-sufficient, meaning you'll be able to find the stocks before I find them. You'll be able to create your own trading plan before I create mine. The program is basically going to be set up in a way where you can do exactly what it is I'm doing before I do it. So you don't have to rely on me. Because, if you're doing this just as one person, you're definitely going to miss out on opportunities. That's where it can also be beneficial to have a team and to have more eyes on that strategy, on that knowledge, and to have more people be self-sufficient, because then we wouldn't miss any plays at all, because everyone would be laser focused on, trading these key best setups at the best prices. So yeah, it's going to be a really unique program, and we're going to be laser focused on, gap trading strategies, and on strategies where we're using history as confirmations to repeat itself. If you've studied the videos, you're well aware on, what is I'm talking about, what is that I'm doing with these stocks. So yeah, we'll be laser focused on the best plays. I mean, this week, if you studied the way I trade, I'm not trading a lot. In terms of swing trading, I'm doing about, on average, 2 per week, sometimes 1 per week. Day trading, I'm not doing much day trading, but I'm going to start focusing more on day trading as well, because the strategy does work, phenomenal for day trading. But lately my preference has just been swing trading. Swing trading, one of the pros is it's a lot less time consuming. So if you're more after freedom of time, swing trading is a lot more ideal. If you really want to have freedom of time. It's also ideal for people, who are working like a 9 to 5 and who have a lot of other things going on as well. And it's also ideal for, more of like a passive income structured if you don't want to be glued to a screen all day and you want to enjoy life. So it just depends on kind of how you want to do this. All right, so CAT, let's see. CAT, I have no opinion on this one. I see there's a gap right there, but I'm not interested in this one. It's just not my type of chart. Okay, so MA, let's see, MA stock. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure when the program is going to be released. So like right now, I'm mainly focused on just, growing my account and also delivering as much value as I can to you guys, with the free time that I have. So I would just, for now, I would take full advantage to the fullest extent of the free value, of the free content, of the free videos and, free live streams. I would definitely, subscribe, turn on push notifications as well. The advantage of push notifications is you'll be alerted real time when the video posts, so you'll be able to see what it is that I'm doing in more of a real time sense. So yeah, SPY on bearish. We'll do an update on that. So no, I don't use Twitter. I don't use any other social media. All I use is YouTube. In the future though, I will be launching, like I said, a chat room, and it will have a video lesson library teaching you guys the strategies. And we're going to be focused on, being self-sufficient, trading the best setups at the best prices, making a couple trades per week max. And it's going to be focused on gap trading, so you could think of it as like a group that's laser focused on just these gap strategies. And then long term, different strategies might come around and we can add on to it. In terms of like teaching the strategy and trading it with size, I make sure that it's proven and that it's back tested to work. So that takes a long time to develop a new strategy. But we're going to be laser focused on the gap strategies, the ones that have been proven to work. So Pinterest, yeah, Pinterest, I'm extremely bullish midterm. I like this setup. I think we're going to fill this gap here at 7204. For now, I'm just keeping an eye on it. We'll have to wait and see. It's trading sideways. It's still on that downtrend formation. So we'll have to wait and see. One key level to watch is going to be this right here. There's a gap waiting to fill at 49.25. So I would set an alert at or below at that price range, and we'll see how it reacts. So yeah, if we can get down there, that's where it's going to be extremely attractive for a potential buy. In terms of SPRT stock, so, did the right thing. It's currently selling off. It's nearly at my initial entry in terms of my rebuy. So yeah, this is, like I said, this is not a good sign for tomorrow at all. It's not a good sign. So we'll see how it reacts tomorrow. As of now, though, I have no interest in rebuying this at all. There's really no correlation with the strategy for the moment. So I'm moving on to the next one. I don't understand why people get so hooked to one stock. There's so much opportunity. There's so much potential. Just do what you did previously with the same stock on another stock. Buy at the best price, trade the best setups at the best prices. So yeah. Okay, do you guys have any last questions? I'm going to be wrapping this up. I have a lot going on. Would you stay in SPRT through tomorrow? So yeah, as explained in my last two videos, I would not, and during this live stream as well. I would not. It's not worth the risk, and it's no longer correlating, with the strategy. You have to be locking in those profits. I don't like playing a game of chance where I'm holding through any sort of news event, even if it's expected to be good. You have to keep in mind, you have to the stock has already had a massive run, from like 2s to 60. And then you also have to keep in mind when there was a tension on this catalyst being mentioned, it had a major reversal from 1757 all the way to 2757, so you have to be able to catch them towards their lows and then sell into the profit, into the spikes, into the squeezes. So yeah, I mean, there's no regrets. If this were to go to, $30, $50, $60, there's no regrets. It's on to the next one. I tried my absolute best to fully maximize it before losing control, before playing a game of chance. And just because if it were positive news does not guarantee the stock is going to react positively. You see it happen all the time where stocks have positive news and they have a negative reaction. That's why I prefer to buy, before the catalyst, buy the rumor. That's where I prefer to buy. And then I'm using the strategies from my confirmation to enter. But yeah, this was a phenomenal play. There were so many opportunities to make a killing on the options where you could have made a 50 to 100% profit return within 30 minutes to 1 hour. So yeah, I mean, we absolutely crushed that one. WTRA. That's not a stock. Skin. I really have no opinion on skin. I mean, you could look to see how it reacts right here towards this. So like right now it looks bearish. It looks like it's going to get crushed. So in terms of buying, I would see how it reacts right here towards this gap fill level at $19. For those of you new to this channel, make sure you watch the playlist on my homepage, the gap trading series. It'll give you a better understanding of, how the strategy works. But yeah, I would wait for that on skin. WTRH, let's see. I would avoid this one for the most part. I mean, it could be worth a shot at, you have a gap to fill right here at 76 cents. We could see how it reacts towards that level. I'll see. But I would stay away from this one for the most part. Yeah, Baba's fine. I like Alibaba as well. Just because I like a situation though doesn't mean I'm gonna go in on it. BTU. So yeah, no opinion on this. It's not correlating with the strategy that I use. So I would just avoid this one. UPST. Man, if you can nail a put option, a short-term put option on UPST, thank you for alerting this one. I lost track on this one. I've been keeping a close eye on this one. But if you can nail like an out of money put with like a very short-term expiration, a move like this, that's like a 5 to 10x move. So, I mean, it's definitely due for some sort of pullback. And in terms of it having that some sort of pullback, $300 would be the ideal number. So yeah, I'm going to add that onto, so I have a couple different watch lists. I'm going to add this one onto my upcoming short-term watch list. That means it's going to be a potential play if we get the reaction I'm looking for. So yeah, thanks for alerting this one. This should be good. So I would look for a negative reaction at that key whole round number of $300. I would look for a bearish reaction towards that level. And if you see that, then I would look to grab some puts for a nice trade. So that's what I'm going to be focused on that. At some point, this does have to have a nice 20% pullback is what I would look for the short term. And if it were to have it in terms of, it having it, it should be happening like soon. So we'll see how it reacts to 300. If not, we'll wait for another key whole round number. So yeah, I'm going to wait for a bearish reaction on the one-day candle for that one. Also a bearish reaction intraday-wise towards $300. We'll see. Sava, COTY. So in terms of like Sava stock, I don't think it's going to have like this massive push up anytime soon. I think it's going to take some time. For the most part, I'm on the sidelines. For the short term, I'm overall bearish. The highest I could really see going for the short term would be like $60. Long term, I think we'll push back towards 72. I just think though we're more likely first to head back towards like $40 to $38 a share. So for this one, I'm on the complete sidelines. The volume is also like faded. Like, yeah, it is starting to peak back up and we are starting to get some, bullish confirmations, but it really doesn't correlate with that gap strategy yet. I did notice there's a gap that's waiting to fill around here as well. So I'm kind of waiting for the high 30s to see how it reacts on Sava. I would avoid it for now. LLY. Let's see. It's most likely on track to fill this gap. So in terms of a buying opportunity, I would wait to see how it reacts towards $217.10. That's where it's going to be heading. So we'll see how it reacts towards that key gap level. So yeah, that could be a great potential buy as it's pushing for, new all-time highs. So we'll see how it reacts towards that level. Make sure you guys are setting your price alerts. PMCB. PMCB, I really have no opinion on this one. It's not an ideal chart. Obviously, it's due for some sort of spike, and it will probably have some sort of spike towards like $6. But it's not my type of chart, not really what it is that I look for. So I would avoid it. Zoom. So yeah, Zoom, I think midterm it will go back to like 315, 320 to start to fill this gap. For the short term though, I don't think we've bottomed yet. I still think we have some more downside potential. So I'm just on the sidelines, kind of like for Sava. I don't think it's gonna have that nice rip up yet. COTY, let's see. COTY. Okay, this is good. So to the person who alerted this one, this is the pattern. This is what we look for. So one thing I do want you to understand is though, in terms of upside potential, the most we're really looking to make is for that gap to fill. So I see what you're looking at. You're using the gap close reversal strategy. There's a gap waiting to fill at 944. It closed the gap, and this is the day we have that nice bullish trend reversal confirmation. So this will most likely go up tomorrow. So yeah, that's absolutely great. In terms of your upside potential, the most you can realistically make, and try your best to make is to maximize for the gap to fill. So in terms of price target, it's going to be sitting towards 928. So that would be your profit margin. Your profit margin would be, from wherever you entered up until like 928, trying your best to maximize for that gap to fill. So if that's something that sparks your interest and, that's something you like, in terms of the price action, it's not like a super volatile, crazy stock. But if that's the type of price action that you like trading and, you want to take a trade idea on that and you like the potential margin of profit of about 10%, then it's absolutely great. Is it going to be like a huge, explosive, crazy opportunity? No, most likely not. It's just not that type of situation. But I do think it's going to be a nice swing trade. So yeah, shout out to you, for alerting that one. And that should do well tomorrow. So if you wanted to kind of do a quick scalp or a quick swing where you're looking to make like 50 cents profit per share and risk like 15 to 20 cents or 25 cents, depending on how high or low you want your risk to return ratio, I think it's completely fine. And then also the options, in terms of the options, the option contracts do have, they're very liquid. They do have volume. So that's where you can add a lot more explosive potential in that situation to potentially make like a 50% to a 70% profit return. So that's the beauty of options, guys. It really gives you that opportunity for plays like these that don't have that huge explosive potential. You add on the options and then that explosive potential comes to life. But yeah, that's great. I mean, me personally, let me check the 1 day. I mean, I think it would have been worth a shot to give it a try. So yeah, that should be good. I'll keep an eye on that one. But yeah, that's the strategy. So nice alert on that. Let me check the daily real quick. But yeah, I like that one. That should be good. And the most we're really looking to risk is where the gap is, waiting to fill. So we're looking to get in where the gap fills, and then our stop loss is either at or slightly below the gap fill price. Bought some calls on SPRT, made 50% profit. Yeah, that's like the third comment I got just from this live stream today. Yeah, I mean, we absolutely crushed it. I actually had my trainer, one of my former students who I'm working with, helping him out in the market. He's training me in the gym. I had him get on it as well. He made like 70%. He hit it nice yesterday as well. So yeah, I mean, like I said, once the program launches though, I think the results are going to be so much better because we'll have a more organized, structured video lesson library, have an organized chat room, and we'll have people laser focused on being self-sufficient. I'm not sure when I'm going to launch it though. I'm just going to continue to focus on, just growing the count and then adding value to you guys. Okay, let's see. Okay, do we have any last questions? I'm starting to lose my voice here. All right, so MDB. But yeah, in the meantime, guys, I would take full advantage of the opportunities. Don't blindly follow mine or anyone's alerts. Only enter if you understand and you see what the other person sees. But really take advantage of the education and take advantage of the opportunities. If you agree with the trading plan, if you like it, you understand the risk involved, you understand the price target, the entry, the stop loss, you see the strategy, you agree with it, you want to trade the strategy, then I would definitely encourage you to get in on the trades. as well. But yeah, definitely take full advantage of the education and how I'm finding these setups, how I'm trading these setups. As for MDB, so for this one, we'll wait for the gap to fill right here towards 401.65. So every single day I'm setting these price alerts. And then one day they tend to trigger because gaps tend to fill over time. And then once they trigger, gaps tend to have reversals once they fill. And then gaps tend to fill over time, like I said. So, we look for stocks that have gaps waiting to fill above. And then once they close their gaps on the way down, look for that reversal, play for the gap to fill above. But we're gonna need a gap down or if that's happened. But yeah, that's kind of what it is that we'd be looking for. Yeah, so with options, like preferably, especially when I'm swing trading an option, I'll look to get in like towards power hour right before the close. That's kind of where I would prefer to get in, especially like the way I'm swing trading. Like I need that 1 day bullish confirmation, and we're not going to know what that 1 day candle looks like until like power hour. So yeah, with options, I'm typically, getting into the close, into like the last hour to 30 minutes into that close. And like, when I'm buying calls, I'm never looking to buy into like a rip up. I'm looking to buy into the dip. And same thing with puts. I'm never looking to, buy puts into a crash. So I'm always looking to trade the best prices. You can get hurt very, very badly, buying naked options. Like if you were to buy call options, especially like short-term ones on the way up into like a spike, you can get hurt very, very badly, especially if you were to swing trade those. So yeah, like swing trading, I'm always looking to enter towards like end of day. Okay, so yeah, guys, that covers everything. So be on the lookout for the trading recap of SPRT. It's gonna walk you through the trades. It's gonna walk you through the strategy. It's gonna walk you through the recap in terms of exiting and then re-entering and then exiting again today. And then also be on the lookout for the NURO video. And then we'll also be on the lookout for a video updating on SPY. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll see you in the next lesson.